Hi, and welcome to Terry's Talks. I have Jon Rivers here from Marketeery. And Jon, you and I had go back in the community quite some time. So I just wanted to welcome you. Please introduce yourself and tell everybody what it is that Jon does.
Thank you for the introduction there, Terry. And to be honest, just so everyone knows, we were like probably in single digits. We actually first got into this community.
Yeah.
So my name's Jon Rivers. I'm the Chief Operating Officer here at Marketeery. Marketeery is a full stack marketing agency that is very heavily focused in helping ERP and CRM partners and ISVs. I'm sorry, Microsoft. I cannot get past calling them ISVs. That's what we're going to be
You're
saying for a
not going to
long
get
time.
past that. I can't do it. Well, that's another topic.
So definitely we'll be saying ISV many times. And I would add to that as well, Terry, probably the majority of our clients are in the Microsoft Dynamics space. It doesn't mean we don't talk and work with people outside of that, but we're very focused on that. I think the other piece is to go to why we work in that ecosystem. My business partner, Diane Sager, who's the CEO over here, the two of us have been entrenched in the Dynamics area for a long time. Just as we were saying right at the gate, right? She was early days with Western Computers when they were a small West Coast partner. Look at where they are now. She actually worked with Jet Reports, actually helping them with their marketing for many years and helped them grow a lot. And then with myself, worked in a couple different ISVs in different roles, everything from consulting to help desk to pre-sales to running a channel and now running Marketeery here and helping partners and ISVs with their marketing.
Why? You know what? When I think of Marketeery, I think of how it's embedded in the Microsoft Dynamics ecosystem. I think because your backgrounds are so strong in the Microsoft area that I think that could really be potentially something that's advantageous to any partner or, and I'm going to say the ISV word, to work with you. I have a lot of partners and ISVs working on this side of the pond, which I'm on the European side, and I'm bringing them to the United States. And I do talk to them a lot about it's a totally different market. Can you help me maybe help our European teams, partners, and ISVs help understand why it's so different in the United States versus over here in Europe?
It's funny, right? Because I think about this is if anyone hasn't worked out that I've got a funny accent as well. So I'm not an American. I'm actually English, been here for many years. And I learned the hard way when I came across and trying to also explain to Americans the other way around, right? Is trying to market out in Europe is different to marketing here in the US. I think the example I always use, and actually I'm going to say I stole this from Diane, is in Europe, I think we tend to, when we're trying to talk about a solution, a product, we talk about all the inners of how that watch works. We want to know, how does it tell the time? How did it get there? We get very in the trenches. We get very technical. You come to the US, and I'm probably going to be very simplifying it here. We come to the US and all they care about is, does it tell the time? So basically, does it solve my problem? And talking it more from solving a problem more than trying to work out how it got there. I think that's it in probably a simple way. I think the other one is sometimes what we've come across is translations. I know a lot has great English speaking, but you still have to make sure it's Americanized. I'll go right back, Terry, to real early days. I was actually still located in the UK, and there was a company I was working for actually was headquartered down in Australia.
Okay.
All of their documentation was in the Queen's English, spelled in the Queen's English. So basically spelled the English way. To actually penetrate the US market, I know now I'm saying something that's old, but I think this is still relevant today, is that they had to go through all their documentation and spell everything the American way. So if you're going to spell, so it's subtle things like that show, I think that's a big part. And I think they're There's another element that's also outside of the marketing that has an interconnection as well to that conversation, is having boots on the ground.
Yeah.
I'm going to say it's easy to go and say, hey, I'm going to go and hit the US market. I'm just going to go and have a PO box, I know, in Miami or wherever, Atlanta. But there is expectations to have someone here because sometimes people want to see people. So it's a little bit simplified in what I just said, but it is different to market here.
Yeah. And one thing I started coming across is the commercialization for a lot of our technical teams. When I sit down and I have those conversations, it's okay. Some of the companies are maybe technically inclined, but when it comes down to having operational, absolute 100% knowing, okay, my operations, I have all these pain points. I need to resolve these through utilizing this software or the add-ons that could be attached to it. I think commercially understanding that is the best way to go. Do you agree, or do you think all that technical should be in that type of commercial marketing?
I don't think all the technical has to be there. I think, and again, let's roll this back, right? Who is the audience they want to talk to? If it's an ISV, then the ISV probably wants to talk to the partner community that's here in North America, right? They want to talk to those. So talking to those folks may be a different conversation than you would have with an end user. So that sort of opens up a couple things. There is one, yes, technical may be a conversation you're having there about how it's working. How do we do something different? But it is also the bigger one, and I'm seeing this more and more as well, is one, I think it's always been there, is trust, right? Is building that trust, having success stories that and I'm going to talk partners first, the partners can listen and see. But at the same time, it is getting harder and harder for ISVs to break into the partner community here. And I think it depends on what is your solution? Are you different from someone else? Do you have something that's unique? I'm just going to say a simple one, right? And I'm sure, Terri, you can see this, right? Credit card processing, right?
Yeah.
Even with just these hands, there's more than these hands. I probably have to get my feet out and count. There is just so many. I think it's really hard, and there's more and more that keep coming in, is how do you differentiate yourself? That's one. But then how do I break into someone that's already trusted this ISV for many years? Most of them do not want to change.
Yeah.
So it's,
I'm trying to figure this part out. And it's something, a message I guess I want to give to the partners as well as letting the ISVs know. How do we break this pattern, or how do we help our partners better understand?
I think it's all down to, if you are bringing a product that doesn't really have evidence, right? Success stories, it's going to be harder to talk to the partners or even the end users, right? You got to have success stories. And that's always the key. But at the same time is breaking down that barrier of, I'm already working with someone in that space. How do I break down? And I've probably gone through many years of working with that ISV, right? So is changing that mindset. And I think, again, it's trying to find a way to educate. I think I see out there some great ISVs that do a great job of really brand awareness, branding themselves. So it's not, again, let's go back. Branding, of course, is marketing, and branding is not necessarily having a nice fancy brochure, going out, having a great logo. It's physically getting yourself entrenched into events. I look at, say, someone like a UST with Wade and Kate Coffey, right? You know who I'm talking about.
Absolutely.
I remember talking to those guys. Oh my God, it's got to be 3-4 years ago.
I'm thinking 4.
It's probably 4 years now.
Yeah.
And it was not long before Summit, and they wanted to get into the space. And actually, I helped them a little bit, is that I had them tag team me at Summit so I could introduce them to many people. But if you roll forward, what do they do now? You will see them at many of the Doug events, many of the DCI events, Summit. You hear and see them. They make themselves a lot bigger than what they are. They invest in the community. They give time back to the community. And that's a hard one. And they've really built that reputation. I'm just taking them as a good example that's out
Yeah.
there. But I think you have to be seen and heard everywhere and be willing to. So if you are traveling, let's say you're traveling to a Doug meeting in Atlanta, is that who else can I see? Could I go and meet up with some of the partners in that area? Can I take them out for dinner? Can I take them out for lunch? Building those relationships, I think, is really key. That still doesn't solve, but it builds trust, which is really key, I think, to building out.
Yeah, I think that's one thing that over my years of experience and working with these teams that I think that being there and being present is imperative. But I come back to where I feel a lot of partners, I've been going through websites just to even check. Because if I've got an ISV potential and I'm looking at their website, I'm going, oh my God, what are they doing? What is going on here? Or they need John, or I've got an ISV that really needs commercially put some information out there. And so what I'm trying to basically say to all my partners and to my ISVs that I work closely with, that I do believe marketing is imperative. And I've seen your team do such miracles and wonders. And so I wanted to definitely introduce what it is that you do. So in the marketing and Marketeery, what is it that you do for partners and what is it that you do for ISVs?
And it's really similar, Terry, to both barriers. I think really is what we like to do is rewind it back to the beginnings, right? Is what is your message? What are you trying to promote? Who are you? Right? So we have workshops that work through, it's that branding, getting your baseline messaging, getting your messaging, and then looking at that and saying, okay, to support this I want to do this in BC. Do I have the evidence to support that or do I not? Do I need to build the evidence? So we start really from that early stages, really trying to work out who are you and who's your target audience, right? For most ISVs, probably target is going to be the partners, but quite often you also need to talk to an end user. Over time, you may start to drop off, but you still have to educate the end user. So we start there. What that also then triggers is the website up to par, right? Does it really support everything I just said? We went through the workshop. It doesn't, right? So we do a lot of website development. I think a lot of people don't realize we do a lot of that.
I didn't realize you did a lot of that. So
we do a lot of website development, and we just gone live with about 3 or 4 clients across ISVs included. And what we're trying to do in that is we look at, again, the evidence. Do we have the right awards? Do we have all this stuff that really proves what we are? And I think the big change that's also happened in the last, I know it's more than, I would say the last 9 months, it's more than that. But really over the last 9 months, even 6 months, is the change in how we now have to think about how we develop websites for not just traditional SEO, but AI search as well. We incorporate that type of messaging inside our websites as well, because that is really key. It's actually a funny one. I was actually having this conversation with someone the other day, and I would question many of the ISVs or even partners out there. Are you going into something like Copilot or ChatGPT and saying, what is the top credit card processing solution in North America? And you're getting excited because you're coming up as number one. I can tell you the other day, I ran that 5 times in a row and got totally different results every single time. So that doesn't prove, just because you saw it doesn't mean that the end user is going to see it. So anyway, going back, so websites a big part there, Terry. Quite often evidence is not there. So what do we mean by evidence? It could be articles, it could be videos, it could be all the pieces from that, press releases. And then really once you've got that foundation, it's ready to keep on talking about. And we get into content development. Content development is really, I said we do a lot of websites. We probably the part of our business we do a lot is content development. Probably 70% of our business is regular content development. So everything from blogs to ebooks to videos, emails, social media, and also making sure all that's SEO and AI compliant. So we do a big chunk of that. That's really where we then emphasize last year or the last 12 months is that we've been working very closely with Stratus and Microsoft. And we went through about 20, 30 partners, helping them with migration and new to BC messaging. So we've been
Wow.
really trying to push that hard. This year, it's probably that's still a hot topic for everyone, right? We got a lot of legacy systems, so that still is key. But now incorporating the AI conversation that Microsoft wants to go into that messaging as well. So that's really key. That's what we do. There is other elements that we do outside of that. We will evaluate people's SEO and AI and all that. We're doing more of that. We tend to do that for existing clients. We're doing content anyway, but
Right.
we're expanding out that to even help someone evaluate, hey, am I really any good or not from what people were searching? So
Right. So this comes down to the point where I just feel real strongly about our new relationship and our collaboration, because everything that I'm telling my clients or that I'm going into the partners is a true belief that branding and marketing need to be the number one budget you got once you're ready to hit a new market. And I just wanted to make sure everybody knew that, Jon, that you and I are collaborating and we're working together to try and bring in, especially with this SEO AI. I'm really excited about this for you and the team, because there is a lot to do with the branding and the content. And so I just want to thank you very much for taking time out to do Terri Talks today. If you
Yeah.
had to tell any partner or any ISV something, what would that be right now, Jon?
don't wait anymore to think that you're going to show up in AI search. AI search it's there. People are searching for you in there, but at the same time, it could change tomorrow, right? It's evolving so rapidly, but you need to be on the forefront. You don't need to be a massive partner or have a massive budget. It's more being strategic to appear in there. If you do things right, you have a possibility to actually appear in the searches. But bottom line, you got to do it.
Excellent. I appreciate you for your advice, and I thank you so much for joining Terri Talks today. Thank you, Jon.
Thanks, Terri.